Okay, what we're going to do now is put the rattan in the seat. There's a cane spline in here that's a little bit in there. We've got to remove that first. There's a couple of ways you can do that. The easiest way really is if you've got a router, just router that out. If you go on to Need a Good Caning, how to cane your seat part 1, the information's on there on YouTube. Otherwise there is another alternative. We've got to take the spline out of here too. If you're a bit hesitant about using a router, I've made a screwdriver here, bend over the end, cold bend it, and then put a sharp edge on like a little chisel, and you can sort of gently put that in here and then tap away to chisel that out carefully. So either way, remove the old spline first. That will get damaged when you're removing it. This side here has already had it removed. You see the groove is clean. So that's the object, and then we put the cane in. So you can see here, just chiseling away there, and you can remove the spline. These are the things you need for recaning the seat. Glue. I've made up a tool here that you can press the cane in, pair of scissors, hammer. This is a screw thing I told you how to remove the spline out. You can keep the groove nice and clean that way, and stand life to trim off. So here we have the seat, and first of all we've had the cane soaking for about 20 minutes, half an hour. Now we're going to replace it over the top and press it in very gently, and keeping it nice and square. So we start with the middle at the front, keeping the pieces here nice and square with the outside, so you can just line it up like that. And this is what they call close-knit rattan, and you have to sort of cut around these areas here just to make it easier to fit in, but I do this step by step so you can make it easier for you. Okay, there's the back bit in, and just work your way from left to right, and obviously from this area around here, and we just carefully slide it in bit by bit. Here we go, it's eased in all the way around the groove, as you can see. You've got to push it right down into the groove, and once that's nicely eased in, we can do the trimming off. It's the trimming off part. Just carefully run a Stanley knife just underneath the outside edge, about 1 millimeter below, and then carefully remove the excess. Okay, now what we do is make sure that the cane is still nicely neat down in the groove, so you just press around here, make sure it's right down in the flat, and then we go ahead and put some PVA glue into the groove. Don't fill it up, but just enough to settle down to the bottom. There we go. Now we're doing exactly the same with the back, putting the close-knit cane in. Make sure obviously you keep it nice and square, so you do the bottom piece down here, keep that nice and straight and square to side of the frame, and then you start at the top here and work your way around very carefully. But it's very simple and easy to tear this. So as you can see down the side here, you've got to cut off as much excess as you can and just carefully ease it into the groove. And now you can see we've put a bit of PVA glue in the groove, let that settle down for a little while, and then we'll add the spline for the seat and the back. Now we're just adding the spline. Just gently tap that into the groove all the way around and wiping off any excess glue. There you go. Okay, that's all finished. Let that dry out naturally, and then we'll assemble the whole thing and give it another coat of shellac. Now that the rattan's dried, all I'm doing is quickly giving it a light sanding over it, and to give it another coat of shellac, and then it should look like $1 million. We'll do the seat separately. Around the side here I've actually putted up some of the cracks that were still visible, so allow that to dry, and then we'll clean that up and give it another coat of shellac. So the next bit of video will really show you the finished result. Okay, now we've finished the last coat of shellac. It's looking a lot better. I might give it a slight oil and a bit of wax over the top of it, but now you can see the finished result. I'm pretty happy with it all. I turned the camera a bit of an angle so you get the full length of it. Very impressed. I'm sure, as you notice, there's a complete difference from when it first came into the workshop. So I hope there's been some good tips there on how to restore something like this, and can't wait for the next project.